Hello, my name is Robert, and this is the Wednesday night game wrap-up. Well, to start the session, they were in the small village, population of about 500 to 1,000 people. Their objective was to find a boatwright named Zoe. Now, they live on an island that is currently a penal colony. Consequently, getting off the island is illegal. The island is surrounded by castle ships to prevent anybody from leaving the island. And they're looking for a person that can build or has a boat that will get them off the island and to the mainland. So what do? They go to the local bar or tavern and they ask the innkeeper, "Do you know a gentleman named Zoe?" This gets the attention of everybody in the bar, including several of the guards sitting in there having a drink. The bartender looks at him and says, "Out." So the party leaves, wondering, how are we going to find this guy if nobody will talk? They notice that shortly after they leave the bar, the two guards that were in there follow them. And as they walk around the town, the guards shadow them. And as they pass by other guards, they start shadowing him and they take their turn. So they really don't have any privacy. They go walking by, people shut their doors. Businesses close their doors, say close. No one wants to talk to them. Finally, one of them gets this bright idea, well, let's go down to the docks. There's 3 boat sheds. And they eventually find one that has a person in it. Running out of options, they decide to ask the person about Zoe. And the guy says, "Oh yeah, I bought this place from him about 2 years ago. I'm still considered an outsider in this town, so very few people come around here. But it's nice to have someone to talk to." So they end up spending the night. They get some information that Zoe lives on the south shore of Misty Bay, which is about a 2 to 2.5 day journey, depending on how hard you push, through the forest. Oh, I need to back up for a moment. While they're roaming through the town, this beggar asks them for coinage. In my world, they're jade disc. So the first person gives him some jade, and the beggar whispers, "The sky sees all." The second person gives him coinage. "The wind hears all." The third person gives him coinage. "The forest knows all." And when the fourth person gives him coinage, he says, "Beware of the ghost in the forest." They're going, okay, we want to stay out of the forest. Now we'll jump back to the boat shed. Well, the next morning they hear a commotion outside. They've noticed that it snowed. There's 1.5 inches of snow on the ground. The guards are dragging a young girl, 13 to 15 years old, to the center of the town, making all kinds of racket. The town comes out to see. The guard captain stands up there as 2 of his men have the girl held down and bent over, and he has his axe ready. He yells at the crowd, "Tell me where Zoe is, and I won't cut her head off." And he starts counting. 1, 2. The party is looking on going, "We can't do anything. We don't know where Zoe is." Technically, they kind of did. They could have told him where they thought he was, but they didn't. So the guy that was in the boathouse steps forward and says, I know where he is. And the guy brings the axe down and misses the girl's head. And says, next time, I won't miss. The guards grab the boat right. They get on their horses and they start following the road. They know that the road kind of winds around to the west and up to the bay, and then they're going to have to cross inland on the road. They can get there faster if they go through the forest, which they decide to do really quickly. They get to the south shore of the Misty Cove, and they see a cabin off in the distance. They get to the cabin, they find a guy working on the boat. It's Zoe! Fantastic! Arrows come in from the forest. The guards have gotten there just a little bit after them. After some combat, no one dies. There's a few that get injured. And there are some boat people that show up on the other side of the boat shed. The mage ends up blinding one of the characters. One of the characters decides to initially charge into the forest to do melee combat, but ends up leaving because they decide that they're not going to win. So let's go into the boat shed and see if we can get the boat and get out of here. To their surprise, the boat is kind of a submarine. Its body is underwater, and the only thing that is above the water is this little port hole or tube, I guess it would be, sticking above the water about 2.5 to 3 feet. And then there's a snorkel in the back, sticking up also. And it is propelled by magic. It does cost magic to propel it, and so they have to trade off. As soon as they get out into the water, several of the party members fail their constitution throws and get sick. Several of the other group that showed up are also in the boat, and they get sick. By the time they spend the 3 days crossing the ocean to get to the shore, almost everybody has gotten sick. The inside of the boat reeks, and they are just so happy when they get close enough to shore that they can jump out, and they have to swim. Nothing happens on their trip to the shore. But they now have this kind of submarine stuck in a sandbar about 50 feet from shore. And one of the characters, he just likes to burn things. And while they're all trying to decide what to do, he throws some fire, a firebolt I believe it is, at the submarine. One of the other party members just gets really upset. Thought the two party members were going to actually get into a fight right there. And while they're trying to hold him back, another party member, that same party member I guess, throws another firebolt at the sub, catching it on fire and burning the sub from the inside out. And that's where we left it. They ended up on the coast. They are about 2 weeks journey to where they need to be. And we're going to see what happens as they travel south past the city of Shinshirin and into the territory of Thessaly. What they don't realize is the Orc War has begun. Tune in next week and see what happens. Thank you.